This week on Media Delta, the conclusion of our look at Season 1 of Mega Man. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Media Delta. We are returning back to a subject that we had talked about previously. That being, we are talking about the remaining 6 episodes of Season 1 of Mega Man, the 1994 cartoon. So yeah, if you're wondering what this show is about, you can go and watch the previous episode talking about it. So yeah, based on Mega Man, the Blue Bomber and all that, but in cartoon form. So yes, it's not the only one to watch this. So please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Axe, and I'm really sick of the goddamn theme song.
Is this the best you've got? Is this your strongest machine? Now, with one power shot, you'll see what Coolio means.
I'm Torpatypus, and I'm here for really questionable redesigns.
Yeah. So yes, we have watched the remainder of the season 1, so we can actually, have a, I guess, a conclusive thought on at least season 1 of Mega Man. So, Axe, what did you think now that you've seen the entirety of season 1?
And then some. Well, I mean, I kind of am still with my original thoughts. I like this. I like this as a show. Again, I'm not very big into Mega Man. I don't really like the series outside of the Battle Network franchise part of it. But I like the cartoon. There's some questionable stuff in it we mentioned in the last episode, which doesn't seem to pop up as much through the remainder of the season. The sexism and the weird way that they treat Roll kind of vanishes fairly quickly. And it's in one episode in particular, Dr. Light absolutely entrusts Roll to go out and help Mega Man out. So it's a weird thing that they even had it to begin with, but it's nice that it goes away and you can just focus on Mega Man being Mega Man and Roll being part of the team. I like the animations. It's a little sloppy at some parts, but for the most part, it's still very good animation. And yeah, I mean, it's a solid cartoon. It's something I definitely could put on in the background while I'm playing games or doing stuff around the house. It's a decent Saturday morning cartoon.
All right, Koya.
Well, as a positive point, it was nice to hear Shirley Milner again. Very distinctive voice. The voice of Hexadecimal from Reboot. She does feature in episode 8, The Incredible Shrinking Mega Man.
I deeply appreciate that all of these things have gone over my head.
Hexadecimal is the villain from Reboot.
Yes,
Okay.
She's one of the main bad people from Reboot. That's about all the good I have to say about this show, because I said it before and I'll say it again. The show makes me angry. These stories just make absolutely no sense. And
to be made.
In trying to think about it just makes me angry trying to.
You have to be made.
Like,
It's just
like, was that?
nothing.
Okay.
Torpid's making noises again.
He's making noises again. Yeah, like when I originally started watching these last 6 episodes, I just kind of had them in the background and glanced over occasionally. Before this recording started, I actually actively watched 2 of them. And I was like, no, but why is anything in this show? Like, oh man. So that's basically my take on it. There's nothing
Why
really
were
more
you angry? Out of curiosity, like what bugged you?
Just the general progression and these completely ridiculous plots that have absolutely nothing to do with anything and make no sense within themselves. The only plot that I could see actually kind of fitting into the story is episode 12, where Mega Man ends up going to the future, where where Dr. Light ends up taking over because Mega Man wasn't there, which kind of fits into the idea of when in season 2 they bring in Mega Man X, because
Ooh.
that's a thing that happens in season 2.
Yep.
But other than that, I'm just no. This is Saturday morning cartoon at its in its purest form. It's something that is cool for a kid to watch. There's like a lot of stuff going on and like not overly complicated plots, I guess. But if you stop and think about any of this stuff, it's just not fun.
Yeah. All right, Turbo.
I enjoy this show. It's not good. It's junk food is the way I would describe it.
That's a good description.
Like it's fun. Will it knock your socks off? No. Will it blow your mind? No. But it's enjoyable. It's something to just sit down and turn your brain off to and just watch garbage.
Yeah.
I don't mean garbage as in like it's bad. I just mean garbage as in it's like just
Bad for you. Well, not even bad for you, but like it's candy.
There's nothing deeper to it than what you're seeing. It's a very straightforward cartoon. Mega Man is the good guy, Proto Man and all of them are the bad guys, and Mega Man beats up the bad guys somehow.
It is absolutely a Saturday morning cartoon in every single way, shape, and form.
Yeah.
But,
maybe that's why it makes me angry. It's like I'm just reading too much into it.
It is like the pure distillation of fucking Saturday morning Saturday morning cartoon. That said, I think it was fun. I think everything looks all right. It's not amazing animation, but it's solid. It's better than say your standard Hanna-Barbera fare, in that it's actually relatively consistent and looks okay.
Yeah.
They don't do a lot of reusing of shots, which I appreciate.
They definitely reuse the shot continuously when he takes someone's power, but
that's about it though, and that's like a 3 or 4 second shot.
Yeah.
But in general, I think it's pretty fun. That said, there's always some weirdness with what the cast does. Like all these fucking mind-blowing inventions that could change the world that Dr. Wily makes, and then they see them, and Dr. Light's like, gonna throw that in the trash. Fuck it.
Yeah. It's very much like it's the thing that I thought of was that comic panel that the Spider-Man panel that often comes up with him talking to a villain. I was like, wow, you're doing all these crazy inventions. You could cure cancer. You can do all this like important research. And the guy's like, no, I just want to make dinosaurs. I forgot.
Yeah, I don't want to cure cancer. I just want to make dinosaurs. Yeah, I like that panel.
It's good. It's really good. But like, no, it's the thing is like fucking Dr. Light could lift this shit and repurpose it and brand it under his own damn name. But no, he just trashes everything. And that's including stuff like the time machine or fucking the shrink ray or anything. No.
It's pretty much once again the eternal stalemate. Everything has to return to the status quo by the end of the episode.
I also really like the one episode where fucking Mega Man and Roll were in a convertible with some kids, and the two of them were just fucking hype as shit about planting trees.
Yeah, it was very much the deal with the quote-unquote troubled youth kind of thing.
It was fucking weird though, because they were in a convertible too, and I don't know why.
But then they also they leave them at the plant and say, yeah, we could trust you to go back to school, right? Yeah, we're just gonna leave you here.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's fine though, they learned their lesson. Don't worry.
Somehow. I
knew it was gonna happen.
Beat someone up.
I knew it was gonna happen, and I was just waiting for the moment it could happen. And when it did, I was still like, "Oh, come on, come on!"
Like you can set this show on clockwork, like how the plot's going to resolve. But yeah, this is very much. I agree. Like I think Julio, I think X, you also mentioned bringing it up. The fact that this is it's a Saturday morning cartoon show. Like, it's not gonna shatter that formula. It works. I'm like, it worked, I guess. And this one really doesn't stray from it. It just kind of adapts it into, Mega Man.
I also apparently watched farther ahead than what we were supposed to. So I want to ask, did any of y'all see the episode where there was a deaf girl?
No.
No.
Okay, so y'all missed out on basically they established right away this girl is deaf. She can't hear. Or they call her hard of hearing. So everybody continues to talk to her in normal voices as if she can hear them throughout the episode, and they wave it, they hand wave it away by offhandedly saying, "Oh yeah, she can read lips."
Yeah.
But it's so good. It's as good as you'd expect it would be.
Yeah, that's about. See, the problem is, I mean, I absolutely do fault the show, but also that is part of a problem of much less that that production and just a lot of productions in general.
I mean, there's a scene where Roll is standing behind the girl. She's standing behind her and is talking to her as if she can hear her. I'm just getting so angry at this episode because I knew they were gonna fucking do that. I knew it.
You see what I'm talking about? This show makes people angry.
Yeah.
Just that episode. Just that episode.
See, I was gonna say, like, probably the weakest episode for me of this batch was, I think, the last one where they go to the fucking random ass island.
Yes. And they have to cooperate.
Yeah, with a volcano, and then fucking, oh man, there's these fucking stone men there. I know, I'll put a chip in them and make them work for me. And all of a sudden they start fucking up. It's like, oh, it's because they're actually cursed. No, it's because they were overheating.
Also, the thing I hate about that episode is, why is Woodman the robot that you have for that episode and not, I don't know, Stone Man?
Okay, but let's talk about how they didn't know how to do leaf shields, so they just gave him a giant metal leaf.
Yeah. Yes.
Also, the fact that they're sending Woodman into a volcano.
Inactive volcano.
That's okay. I can't remember if Woodman's weak to Heat Man, but Mega Man 2 weakness, like the balance in that one's completely bad. So who knows?
I don't think the show cares.
That is also, well, that actually will get into something that I'll mention, but yes.
It feels really awful, the entire plot of that episode, and then it just kind of ends.
Yeah.
Though, that said, I still love how they gave Iceman this sweet fucking deep-ass growly voice.
So, Torpid, at your intro, you said questionable redesigns. Please elaborate.
Okay. So, obviously we mentioned Woodman, which was bizarre. Also, Woodman was mostly metal. I feel that worth mentioning. There was also Metal Man, who was fine for the most part, except that they refused to draw him with eyes. He just didn't have any.
They gave him red eyes, which is weird.
They didn't give him any eyes. It was just like shadow.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It gets into something that I feel like I want to... I feel like it's worth mentioning as the fact that this is a Mega Man show. That this show actually gets things both consistently surprisingly accurate and also wrong. Like, as we mentioned, Leaf Shield was just basically a leaf that came out of the armor. But then again, Leaf Shield, how it works in the game, is kind of weird. Like, I don't know how they would like animate that.
But that's my point, is they didn't know how to do it, so they just went with a shield that was a leaf.
Yeah. That's also like metal and not like green colored.
But there was also so like there's those two are kind of whatever. But bar none, the fucking worst is Airman. It's so bad.
That one is notorious for being the one that they had to redesign, and I believe the reason that they gave for that one is because Airman, the actual, like, in his design in the games, does not have a mouth. So they had to slightly alter him so they can have a mouth to animate, is, I believe, was the reasoning that I've heard given for why he looks not good. But that is, I believe, the only one in the entirety of the series that they mess up what they look like.
It's also really good too because he never actually like moves that mouth either, if memory serves.
It animates lightly, but it's not like the thing. Because if you just had Airman the way he looked, like whenever he talked, he would just be like not even moving at all. So they gave him something.
Look, Airman,
has-
they gave him like two large teeth that go up and down when he talks.
Yeah, so for reference, he has like this very like angular, super evil robot looking head, and he's jarring because it's like even at odds with the style of the show.
I mean,
It's
to
so
to be
awful.
fair about the robot mouths, just think about Futurama for a second, because there's not much robot mouth animation
Oh.
happening there, and that show happens like 6 or 7 years after.
So
Mega
my
Man.
point about the mouth thing was more like it made the head feel even more like excessive. God, he looks so bad. Oh my god.
And then if this is, oh wait, that's not what I was thinking of, because I was looking at, I just wanted to remind myself what it looked like. And I am seeing, so we're seeing how bad Airman looks in this. There is another Mega Man cartoon that I forgot to talk that I am going to put off as much as we possibly can, but I'm just going to say it can be worse.
Oh, dear.
That's pretty
Oh,
awesome.
Airman.
That is Airman from Mega Man Fully Charged.
Airman in the cartoon kind of looks like one of the bad guys from G.I. Joe.
Yes, I can see that.
Joe.
But yes, that is the one that they have to. God, I'm looking at more pictures of from Fully Charged. God, that show looks terrible. But
We should
that's
watch it.
No, we shouldn't. Also, it's a CN show, so who knows how I'm going to get the copies of that. Man. Anyway, what were we talking about?
It's not a bad show, other than some bad designs here and there.
Oh, have
No,
you actually
it's-
seen it?
Hmm?
Have you actually seen it? Just out of curiosity.
No, I was talking about what we were talking about, the actual show we watched.
Oh, the actual show. Yes.
Yeah, I haven't watched. I'm not I'm not a big Mega Man fan, so I really only watch this for the sake of doing Media Delta.
Yeah,
Zach's watch what?
No, so I just
Just
want to
another
clarify
Mega Man cartoon.
me saying that I hate it is I'm specifically talking about Mega Man Fully Charged, which looks terrible from
Thankfully,
everything
I
I've
know
seen of it.
nothing about that. I do know the Battle Network one, which is actually pretty decent, honestly.
Yeah, because Airman EXE showed up, which I'm like, oh, that just looks weird. But then again, it's also the EXE stuff, so they all just look different. So that's something else.
I don't like how they anglified Male's name into Meilu, but whatever. That's another show.
Yeah.
I mean, also to be fair, the translations of the Battle Network games are kind of infamous.
Yeah.
Either way, though.
So is that pretty much what you're going to say, Torpo?
Yeah, I think that's about it. I actually don't really have a whole lot to say. That isn't like from last episode. I just like the episodes in this one in general were like all right, nothing like exceptional. They were okay, except for that last one. That last one I would argue is not good at all.
Yeah. And that one is practically a requirement in any like. That seems like it's one of the standard things that like. There's like a handful of like standard plots that you will always see in like an ensemble show kind of thing. Because we also saw it in Pirates of Dark Water. Like I think also towards the end, but nonetheless, yes. So my thoughts on it is that before really give like my judgment is I feel like this is probably because there was a multitude of like episodic cartoons based on video games. I feel like Mega Man is still from the stuff that I've seen, I think is still the one that holds up the most. Because there is a really weird sense of they actually get a lot of the details right, although sometimes they get it wonky. There's a really weird specific thing that I believe they reference, which is actually has something to do in this. This could also have something to do with the fact that they probably got some of the art for the characters from the like source from Capcom themselves. Like specifically, they're probably their Japanese branch. So and it's a very subtle thing that you probably won't even notice it unless someone pulls it up or pulls it up. So there's the episode in which they go to the future that Mega Man's not in, and they meet a girl there. There is a segment in which she jumps into her like uncle's arm, and her hand makes a weird, kind of odd hand motion. Or not hand motion, but a hand position. It's very much the Vulcan salute kind of thing. So basically, if you think about your fingers, the two fingers in the middle kind of are right together, and your pointer finger and your pinky are kind of like spread out a little bit. Which in
kind of the opposite of the Vulcan.
Oh, right. It's the opposite of the Vulcan salute.
Yeah.
I always get those confused. But the thing about it is that normally you just like, oh, her hands in a really weird thing. But then until you look at key art of the Robot Masters, and you see that on a lot of them, the ones that actually have hands, their hands are making that same hand position. Which I don't know if that is actually a shout out to that or if that's just a bizarre coincidence.
I think that's just a coincidence, buddy.
It probably is, but
it's a deep dive into the inner workings of the art team for the Mega Man cartoon.
Thinking way too hard about this.
That probably also could be the case, but I do think that if that was intentional, that is a really weird thing.
You see, she does the hand motion because she loved to read the Mega Man comic that was in Universe.
Yes. That was illegal for some reason.
Illegal Mega Mans.
See, I just look back at that particular episode and I just think about how much of a better story the Proto Men told.
God.
Yes, I love Meatloaf.
I will say though, my favorite part about that episode was looking at both Dr. Wily and Dr. Light, just thinking, wow, they didn't age at all in 30 years.
Yeah.
How are they not dead? How is he not dead was my first thought when seeing Dr. Wily.
I mean, look at Patrick Stewart. He was 70 at 30.
This is true.
Fair enough.
Still a beautiful man.
My point stands though.
They're both old, is what we're getting at. They're very old.
They're very old.
And then they get even older 30 years later.
Yeah, fucking post time skip. Dr. Light is slightly shaggier.
Yeah.
Dr. Wily looks about the same though.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've touched on it really all that much, but the voice acting is actually pretty good throughout the cartoon. It's a pretty solid cast.
Yeah, I think we went over a little bit last episode, but yeah, like the voice acting is pretty good. Very good work by Ocean Group.
I'm still not really sure what exactly they were doing with Cutman.
Yeah.
I love the Peter Lorre voice. I love it. I don't know why, but I love it. Whenever I hear it, I love it.
Kung Fu Cutman.
It is. If I think of Cutman, I think of that because it was such a good. It's actually a voice for a Mega Man character that actually fits.
And as Torpid brought up, Iceman having just this deep, gravelly voice for no good reason.
It's so good!
It took me by surprise.
Yeah, that one really threw me off.
Didn't fit at all.
It's like... it's also great because that is also the same... I believe that is... it's the same voice actor as Cutman. As Wikipedia describes it, of him doing an Italian-American accent.
Sure.
Yeah. It's just really weird. But then again, it just It's like a better version of the inhale cigarettes Mega Man voice from Captain N. Which actually, now that I think about it, I believe Terry Clarkson did also do.
He did Dr.
I got-
Wily.
I gotta look that up. Who did?
I'm pretty sure he did Dr. Wily in Captain N.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who actually did Mega Man and Captain N. Doug. Who is Doug Parker? What else have you done? First thing is at Jesus Aside. Okay, this is. I see you're one of those voice actors who has been does everything. Oh, he's the sound. It's very weird. Like, go into the IMDb page for someone and you see the 4, like, oh, here are the things they're known for. Known for Mega Man and Captain N. Also Bubbles in Dragon Ball Z. But also members of the sound department for The Curious Case of Benjamin Button and National Treasure.
Okay.
Which, good on you.
Weird association.
Yeah.
Terry Class.
Yeah.
And the voice actor for Mega Man was Ian James Corlett.
Yep. Canadian Goku, as he's also known. So yeah. Yeah. Also, the one other thing I wanted to mention, we were talking about plots. I'm surprised it only took them 9 episodes to get to the plot that every sci-fi thing ever, or like every like kids sci-fi or like thing that this plot has to happen, which is the personality switch.
Oh yeah, that episode.
Yeah, the one where it's like, oh, which one is the real one?
But the thing is it's undercut by it being a Saturday morning cartoon because that particular bit of tension goes on for maybe 5 minutes and then is resolved really quickly when the main plan gets revealed. Like, it doesn't have a lot of staying power.
Actually, no. Apparently, I completely must have missed that line. The one with the deaf girl is in fact Cold Steel. That was episode 11. I completely forgot about that plot point.
That is the reason why the deaf girl didn't get mind controlled.
Right.
Yeah. Because she can hear the vibrations, but she can't hear the actual noises.
Wait, what episode?
The one with the band. The one
No,
with the
I
band.
got that. I was too busy hating the noise.
Yeah, that's so you did see it. That episode's the one with the deaf girl.
Right. I completely
And everybody
forgot
treats her
about that.
like she can hear. It's great. It
That's why
wasn't
didn't
annoying
even
at all.
register.
Yeah, I just completely missed that line.
I was going crazy thinking, oh shit, yeah, I guess I did watch ahead of everybody. They're not gonna see this amazingly bad episode. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
that
it's
episode-
so bad that it didn't even fucking register.
Like for me, that episode is the lowest of the episodes because of just that plot line. Just that entire the way that they act around her, and nobody even signs. Not even her mother. Her mother, who's supposed to know sign language, doesn't even fucking sign for her. She just talks to her like a normal, like she can hear.
God, yeah, actually, now that God, yeah, I just completely forgot about that. Like, I didn't even pick up on that.
How do you forget about that? It's so bad.
I might have clocked out a little bit at that point.
They didn't have the budget for sign language.
I wasn't paying. I was paying attention so much more after they said, "Oh, she's deaf." I'm like, "Oh, okay, you've got my attention. How bad are you gonna do this?" And they showed me how bad they could do it. I'm just gonna stand behind this deaf girl and talk to her, and she'll nod her head because she can read lips.
Also, apparently, that was the only. Let's see. Nope, I take that back. Never mind. I was about to say that was the only episode that had 2 writers on it, which that's not the case. There's actually a few and have multiple.
There are 4 of them, from what I can see.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
One thing that I kind of liked is in episode 9, bot transfer. At the end of that episode, Mega Man just basically crams 3 of the robot masters inside that chamber and blows it up, saying, "We won't be hearing from them again." Yeah, that doesn't carry over. We'll be hearing from them again.
Yeah.
But that's just seems such a sinister thing to happen. It's like, these robots are dead. Except, no, they're not.
Because the robots don't die; they all fall apart in various shapes and forms during
Quite
different
graphically,
episodes.
though, is like
Yeah.
kind of the
Yeah.
impressive thing.
Yeah,
But like a good example is one of the episodes with I think it was the Glacier episode where Roll gets or Rush Rush gets zapped by Iceman and gets basically torn into pieces, and he puts himself back together on his own.
yeah.
Also,
Well,
can we take a second to talk about that fucking that building housing what was basically liquid nitrogen was
Oh.
apparently super cold?
yeah, that just like doesn't even make sense. Like, why?
This man was freezing in his fucking office.
And there's just
Completely iced
icicles
over.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It's all blue because it's cold.
They pour the coffee and it instantly turns to ice.
You
Which-
know, I have personally been in a very similar situation that wasn't nearly that bad. Basically, what happened is I went into the office that I was working at the time, but the power had gone out, and for some reason, like this was on the day after Christmas. For some reason, instead of the heater turned on, it was the air conditioning.
Great.
We were there for about an hour before they sent us all home.
Yeah. Also, wasn't like the secretary like just wearing a skirt?
Yep. No, the secretary was doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was fine except for the scientist. He's the only one
Yeah,
Whose
like the head scientist whose office was just coated in ice.
whose name is Zero because Sub-Zero. It's funny.
Yeah, we didn't have any unfortunate names, thankfully, this time. No Dr. Fister or Dr. Pedo.
It wasn't Dr. Pet. Yeah, it was.
It was.
Great. Yeah, it was Dr. Pedo.
It was Dr. Pedo.
I forgot about the doctor bit.
Yeah. But yes, yes.
And I guess to kind of put a finer note on it being a Saturday morning cartoon, its plots kind of came and went really quickly. So like everything is wrapped up in less than 30 minutes, and nothing is given any time to like percolate or escalate in such a way. It's just kind of like escalation, resolution, just instantaneous, the two of them, and that does kind of, after watching as many episodes as I ended up watching, it kind of it wears thin a bit, and I can see it kind of being kind of a sore point.
Yeah, it is the problem with the format rather than the show itself.
Yeah. And I think the show does a good job of handling the format. You know, kind of like I wanted to say Nick Arcade did the best it could with its format. And I feel like I feel like they're both kind of similar in that regard. Like they've got a very tight format that they have to work with, and I think they both did the best they could with that allotment.
I think it has a problem of the fact that it's like, okay, it's like, to me, the analogy that I'd think of is more, it's gourmet popcorn.
Yeah.
Like if like putting like dressing and not like, you know, salad dressing, but like putting
ranch dressing on my
just putting
popcorn.
shit on top of popcorn to make it like some sort of fancy thing. I feel like if you try and do that, it actually cuts the point of why I would eat popcorn. So it's like, I see you're trying to like make this thing nicer, but popcorn is never going to be like a meal, or it's never going to be like the end all of anything. It just is what it is. But sometimes you really want popcorn, so good popcorn is still pretty good.
Put caramel on top of that shit.
Now I want to go out and get popcorn.
Yeah,
Popcorn's really good, especially buttered popcorn.
it is really good.
Plain popcorn, boring. Buttered popcorn, fucking fantastic.
Butter and salted, yeah.
Yeah.
It's real good. Get stuck in your teeth though.
Yeah, God. No, the worst is the kernel. Like getting that shell stuck on your uvula,
Uh-huh. Yep.
and you're just the entire time.
I've had a couple of kernel shells get stuck inside my gum.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
great.
It just jams up right in between your teeth, and you're just trying to pluck it out.
Also, I think this is a sign that we've hit the point where we could probably rank Mega Man at this point.
Yeah, I was just like sitting there like, wait, we're still going?
I do
Yeah.
want to bring up 2 quick points before we do. Just the fact that one, this show apparently was well received. In fact, it was #1 on the Nielsen rating for a little while. This show was actually canceled by Capcom because of Bandai.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
most likely merchandising pressures from toy partner Bandai, which cut several other popular toy lines due to not meeting sales expectations. So they're like really not sure how the toys were going to sell, so they canceled the show because of that.
Yep. Also, this is right around the time that they Street Fighter came out, so I'd imagine with that, because I can't remember how well that did, but that also might have prevented Capcom from doing, because it didn't really, actually. I shouldn't say that, because that is a categorically false statement to say that they did not do much after that. I am looking at Darkstalkers and Street Fighter, which also received cartoons. Yes.
And just the other thing is, apparently a lot of the music, anything that like didn't strictly belong to Mega Man, like was either the title theme or directly based on it, apparently showed up a lot in Dragon Ball Z.
That makes sense because it is also the Ocean Group. That's why Canadian Goku. So
nearly all of the show's background music was reused in the Westwood Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z.
That makes
I'm fucking shocked. It's almost like making new music is expensive.
yes.
Also, I
Anyway.
want to put a finer point on it that after watching as many episodes as I did, I hate the theme song. I hate the theme song. I hate it.
Fighting robots.
It
Yeah.
sucks.
So there's actually controversy. That is one thing I'll quick mention. There's actually controversy among fans of the show about which had the better theme song, because it turns out that this actually made its way over to Europe. And famously, the German version of
God,
this,
of course there's go on.
the German opening is
There's always
also
the German opening.
is actually considered by a lot of people to be better than the original.
That's a low bar.
It is.
That intro it's literally just Super Fighting Robot Mega Man
Okay.
over and over.
Fighting to save-
No. Yeah, he'll save the world. Yeah.
Yeah, they say that at the end.
I
But
do
it's-
want to say though, really quick, as monotonous as the song is, the intro looks way cooler than the show ever is.
Oh yes.
It is anime as fuck.
Yes, because I believe TMZ themselves animated it, so it is done by a studio that does anime.
And it's just like sad because like you see this cool ass fighting intro, and then it's just like goofy Saturday morning plots.
Yeah. Also, has Napalm Man in it, which also didn't show up in.
Yeah, Napalm Man doesn't show up at all in the series. He only appears in the
Wow.
intro.
I wonder why Napalm Man doesn't show up in the
Yes.
series.
It's like, oh no, it's attacking the amusement park. Oh, it's Napalm Man. Oh,
Who's
actually,
burning
no.
down that orphanage. It's
Oh,
Napalm
yeah.
Man.
Get this. Napalm Man, an armed robot equipped with missiles. This robot only appears in the intro of the TV series.
Because he uses napalm.
Yes.
What's wrong? Was White Phosphorus Man taken already?
That's too long.
Everyone loves the Robot Master Willie Pete Man.
Which actually makes me think, does He-Man show up? Okay, yeah, He-Man does show up. Yeah,
Pharaoh Man makes one appearance in the,
and he makes a great appearance too.
His appearance is real fucking good.
Now I've got your power.
Episode
Alright.
2.
All right, I think we have hit the point where. Does anyone have any last points?
I think I finally got it out of my system.
Hit that point a long time ago.
Yeah.
When we were
All
talking
right.
about popcorn was probably the jumping off point.
That's how much of an impression this show leaves.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to rank this using our normal 1 to 21 scale, with 1 being absolute mastercraft, can't get any better, and 21, which is complete garbage, not even ironically fun to watch, just a all around sour experience. So, Axe, what would you put this at?
So I got a range here. It's a small range because I kind of compare it to Nick Arcade. I like it as much as I like Nick Arcade, but I can also see it being kind of on par with like Flash Gordon. So I'm kind of stuck between 7 and 9. Is where
All
I
right.
put it.
Right in the blue. So that works. Kuyo.
Wow. Okay. That's not the reaction I had at all.
That's why we have
I-
multiple people.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, I
It's okay to have a wrong opinion.
completely offensive or anything, but I didn't find the show particularly engaging or really interesting at all. 16 to 18.
Oh, bad. Okay.
Wow.
Jesus.
God damn. That's a huge difference.
Fucking slam that shit into the garbage. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
that's the. Wait, is that
Wow.
the? No, that is slightly go. No, that is also the entirety of the orange. Let's see. Torpo.
Wow, I have an exact number, unlike all of you indecisive fuckers, and that's 10. Because I would watch Pirates of Darkwater over this, but I would fucking watch this over Little Nemo or Charlie Brown.
Okay, so that brings us with an interesting scale of essentially 7 to 10 and then 16 to 18.
There's absolutely no overlap here.
Also a 10. Now put your thumb on the scale, Lolo.
Well, actually, because I was going to say, if I was going to put it, I actually was going to have the exact same reaction that Axe did, as I was thinking 7 to 9, because I feel like it is better than average, but that's about it.
I still think Pirates of Darkwater is better, and we put that at a 9.
So let's see how to reconcile this.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with 9 because, I mean,
I'd be fine with 9 too. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
the
feel
second
like
half of Pirates of Darkwater also exists. So
Yeah.
I don't have enough fight for this.
yeah, I feel like this is low, but also is this really the hill you want to die on? Yeah, I feel like 9's the best compromise in that case.
yeah.
yeah.
I still think 10, but 9 is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, because I feel like 9's a perfect spot for this because it's right. It's also right next to the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's also right next to Pirates of Darkwater, which I feel is a really good comparison to the show.
Really feel you should put OVA next to that Sonic the Hedgehog movie because we live in a different time.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. That is a good point. Which actually, in that case, I'm just going to do this.
I mean,
It does say OVA to the side of it.
It does, but I want to make it clearer in that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. Yeah, that is true.
Oh wait, 9 fine by me.
When
yeah,
are we going to do the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
Well, we can do it right around
Please.
the we can do right around the time that the new one's coming out
Yeah.
in 2020 or 2022.
Wait,
Let's
what?
see.
There's another Sonic movie. They announced
Oh
it.
god. No.
Yep, and it has Tails in it.
Look, Lolo, all I'm saying is that April 1st is on a Thursday.
It is.
Ooh.
But also, remember the last episode we had for April Fools?
I don't. I
it
really
was-
don't.
It was Lola the Penguin,
Oh,
was
yeah.
Adventure Lolo. Which has a precedent which I don't know if I can replicate, to be honest.
That was good. I like
Look,
like doing
April
that
Fools is perfect for shit posting, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to do that, we can do plenty of other things or other things to ship post. This was a TV show.
It's weird knowing that Ruby Spheres is like a lot of former Hanna-Barbera.
It makes a lot of sense.
It is, but it looks better. So it
Also-
throws me.
Also, I guess I would say kids. Because, I mean, it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It is
for
like
kids.
straight up Saturday morning cartoon, like 100%.
Yeah.
Oh
There's
god,
not
I
even-
forgot about the Wizards, yikes, but
Oh, you mean the 5 yikes that are slightly larger than everything bolded and also in Comic Sans?
Yes.
The Comic Sans really sells the yikes.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything you want to call out in music, charm, cinematography, storytelling, action, and art?
The
I
theme
think it
song.
looks pretty.
The theme song can please die.
Yes, please.
Yeah, otherwise the music isn't terribly notable.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a
It's-
shrug.
It's catchy for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, actually, no. We
No,
actually
it's
have a
not
category
good.
for
It
this.
just gets stuck in your head.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's an earworm.
Right.
Because it's literally the same phrase repeated over and over.
And it's all I was actually before we even were talking about doing the second part, before we even like were ready to do it, all I could hear was that song from Day to Day. It would just pop into my head out of nowhere while I'm working. It was awful. I
To start
yeah.
yelling in the middle of your workplace. Super fighting robot!
Mega
Mega
Man!
Man!
Die!
All right. Let's see. What else?
God. I do want to say this batch of episodes, if we're going to talk art really quick, there's some really goofy faces in this show, and this batch of episodes had some
Yeah.
of my favorites.
Yes.
So I don't know what I would say for art.
I'd say the art's good. I mean, some of the animation can get a little but I think overall I'd say it's
It
got
looks
good art.
good, particularly for a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah,
I would thumb it up, personally.
Also, like, they get
Yeah.
most of the Robot Master designs right, and I can
Yeah.
respect that too.
yes.
Airman.
Yeah, except for Airman. Let's see. Storytelling, no action. The action's actually, I don't know. Actually, the action, I think I'll leave blank because it's
It's not that great.
It's not great, but also it's not abysmal. Cinematography is kind of meh. The charm really, it's not really charming.
Sizzling circuits.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I don't even know if I could think of anything for nay either, or yay.
I want to say length. The length does, I feel, kind of impede the show a bit.
All right.
I'm kind of leaning toward what the hell is going on.
I
But
don't know
that might be, you might be looking for something a little more extreme for an example like that.
Yeah, I think that's more of an extreme case. The one thing I did want to point out, because it did kind of go into how we were talking about the art. I want to at least, especially for something like this, I do want to call out that their modeling is on point.
Okay.
Except for Airman.
I still love that.
Except for Airman.
Still love that the wizard is the first one to get 3 charms in Nay.
Okay,
Yeah.
but can we at least just put everyone's an idiot?
Oh, that yes,
Yeah,
actually, that one
Yeah,
can.
that's a good one. I was thinking of at least one other thing to put into Nay. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's see now.
Oh.
Where is it? Someone's got. Wait, what? There. I was gonna say. I was like, I couldn't find it, but then again, it was right where my mouse was. So.
Fighting robot. Mega Man! God
All
damn
right.
it!
All right. So they're.
Fucking taking a shit in the work restroom and you just start yelling that song.
Super fighting robot! Mega Man!
All right. I think that's good for Mega Man Season 1. All right. So, with that, that is going to do it for that. I guess technically we can come back to it at some point.
No.
Right around the same point that we do Sonic Sad Season 2.
And that's when it gets to 21.
You shut your whole mouth.
Yeah, just Dulcie weighs that thing entirely down. Also Sally's best.
Poor Coolio.
All
I
right.
regret nothing.
All right. So before we close, X, is there anything you want to plug?
Yes, the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network. It is a fantastic organization run by people with autism for people with autism. It's great resources for people who with autism who would like to lead a more independent, stable life.
All right. Coolio.
Yeah. So first, the Let's Play group that I'm part of, Low Bias Gaming and lowbiasgaming.net, and also Square Wave Symphony, my radio slash podcast show, your home for video games, chiptunes, and all things weird and geeky, which is at lowbiasgaming.net/squaresim. And
I'll call you.
Use reopening, so that's
I did do that. I called Coolio's.
Ring,
called-
ring,
I
ring.
called- No, Lolo. I literally called Coolio's station's number and talked to Coolio live on air.
Yeah. So
It was great.
just when it opens up, you get ring, ring. Super fighting robot.
Ah!
Mega Man!
Ah!
All right.
Made
Torpo.
my microphone go red. Damn you!
I play a video game. Just y'all put all this shit. I'm like, I play video game. Twitch.tv/TorpidTypist and at TorpidTypist on Twitter.
All right.
Once more, I would love to plug this hole in my ego.
All right. Well,
But how do I plug these robot masters back together?
yeah, just pop that arm back on.
Just swap out the parts and hope for the best.
All right.
Where does the
So
leg go? Why are there 3?
He has 14 rib cages. What is this, Mortal Kombat?
next up we have something kind of interesting because it's also funny because I actually now have doubts about whether or not I picked the right thing and see if I can do this.
Are you saying that it's gonna be a motherfucking JoJo reference?
It is. Well, it's also great because apparently the thing that I saw on YouTube was the entirety of the OVA to put into one movie. Apparently might not be the entire series. And in fact, might only be half of it, of which the other half is also a 3-hour block. So I might have screwed myself over.
Oh, you
suicide
dumb
pact.
motherfucker.
Yeah. So we are taking a look at JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the OVA, next.
Nice long look.
Yes.
Oh.
Well, it depends because I got to see the other one. Maybe it is just a different cut. I don't know. But anyway, I'm sure we're only going to pick one. But it's yes.
You're
but
fucking
yes.
crushing my nuts, Lolo.
We're taking a look at JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the OVA, which is much different than the show. Also, I would say a lot better, but nonetheless.
I mean, also part 3 fucking sucks, so you're screwed either way.
Yeah, Stardust Crusaders is not exactly the
Yeah,
highest one, but
yeah.
at least the OVA has less poop.
has less a
And
lot
baby
of the
penis.
yeah, less pedophilia.
Yes. Anyway, with that, thank you all for listening.
Bye bye.
So
Later.
If you would like to look at the full list of rankings for yourself, please visit r3.ldp.life and go to the Media Delta List tab. If you would like to watch Media Delta's sister show, Retro Rank Rhapsody, you can either watch at youtube.ldp.life or by tuning into twitch.tv/LoloDePuzzlo at 7:30 p.m. on Fridays, 2:30 p.m. on Saturdays, and 1 p.m. on Sundays. All those times are from the Eastern US time zone. If you would like to discuss this episode with the community, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which you can do so by going to discord.ldp.life. Thank you again for listening, and I hope you tune in for our next episode.